is that you are incapable of defending a man that you worked for, that you know
I am not.
of.
Oh, no. Why don't you ask me a question rather than...
I
did ask you a question.
She did.
I had a point I wanted to make.
And you said that you needed to hear more from him. And I don't need to hear more from Pence for several reasons. Because when I lived in India...
Well, you just accused me of something, so why don't you let me actually answer? You're not going to vote for a Republican ever.
No, I'm gonna finish what I'm gonna say.
I'll have more on Pence tomorrow because he's doing a big town hall tonight, and I want to hear more from him,
But what
honestly.
do you think?
I kind of need to hear more of where he's angling. Like, based on that ad, is so kind of generic. I think
you
he's
worked
angling
for him, you know.
Sunny Hostin's time on The View may be coming to an end, and it all started with a tense exchange between her and Alyssa Farah Griffin. The dispute arose when Griffin attempted to fact-check her liberal co-host, who claimed that former President Donald Trump's immigration policies disproportionately targeted migrants based on their appearance. While Griffin was clarifying that the northern border issue primarily involves Canadians, Hostin shifted the conversation by referencing a discussion she had with Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Recognizing the diversion, Griffin tried to interject and refocus the conversation, unintentionally highlighting inconsistencies in Hostin's claims. Feeling embarrassed in front of millions of viewers, Hostin reportedly lost her composure and confronted Griffin during the commercial break. The situation escalated to the point where network executives had to intervene. In the world of live television, moments like these often signal significant changes behind the scenes, and Hostin may soon be making her exit.
Gets so heated. During commercial, I know something happened during commercial that the producer comes on.
Yeah, we all know. The View isn't exactly a tranquil chat show. These ladies bash one another, and sometimes it gets incredibly wild. That's part of what makes the show so addictive. Witnessing strong personalities clash over difficult themes. But recently, things between Sunny Hostin and her co-hosts, especially Elisa Griffin, have been getting extremely tense. It's not only about political disagreements. Insiders have been whispering that Sunny has been feeling fed up for a while now. And let's be real, you can see it on her face in every episode. The eye rolls, the sighs, the way she's been holding back while sitting next to her. That's not just for show. Something's been building behind the scenes, and fans have noticed this whole situation, according to reports. The producers have had to intervene in off-camera to smooth things up between these girls. And if you've been watching, you've definitely witnessed those awkward times when Sunny simply looks done. Alyssa Griffin has cut her off mid-sentence on multiple occasions, and Sunny has often ended up giving her angry look. It's like the tension has been boiling just under the surface, waiting for the right moment to explode. And if you thought things were bad before, wait until you hear what happened behind the scenes.
How do you do that?
So I did.
Right?
No, it's
I'm
a
sure
fair
people,
point.
It's a fair question. I mean, you know who this person is.
Yeah.
He's the person that is grab him by the you-know-what. And you're working for.
The tension on The View escalated when Alyssa Farah Griffin praised the United States immigration policies under former President Donald Trump, including his recently announced $5 million Gold Card initiative designed to provide a pathway to citizenship for the wealthiest immigrants. This didn't sit well with three outspoken critics of Trump: Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and Sunny Hostin. This time, it was Hostin who took the lead in condemning Trump's policies. However, Griffin repeatedly interrupted her, making it difficult for Hostin to get her point across. Initially, she attempted to stay composed and ignore the interruptions, but her frustration became increasingly visible. After holding back her anger for some time, it became clear that she was done being talked over, and she wasn't afraid to show it.
And those immigrants or those migrants look a certain way. So it seems to me this was never really just about immigration.
Governor
It was
Willis
about
said
a
differently.
certain
That was
type
a
of immigrant. And so
misunderstanding.
now we have this million, these, you know,
I just
a Russian.
clarify, though, 'cause
Can I
this-
finish talking?
Yes.
Now, you would think that would be enough to shut things down, right? Well, Elisa Griffin wasn't backing down either. She fired right back, and suddenly, it wasn't just a debate anymore. It was a full interruption playing out in front of a live audience. Social media blew up with people saying it was one of the most savage moments they've ever seen on the show, because after interrupting Sunny Hostin, Alyssa was caught interrupting Whoopi Goldberg as well. A person wrote, "Anytime Alyssa tries to correct their lies, Sunny and Whoopi are like, 'We don't do that here.'" Another one added, "That's why the rest of The View interrupt Alyssa when she says something, because they can't take it." Now let's talk about Whoopi Goldberg for a second. She was sitting there like she would rather be anywhere else. You could almost see her calculating whether to step in or just let them clear out their issues. But, things seem bad when the show goes to commercial and comes back with everyone. Acting like they just went through a full-blown attack, that's exactly what happened after the on-air explosion between Sunny and Alyssa Griffin. According to insiders, producers rushed in to defuse the situation, but by that point, the damage was already done. Sunny wasn't just upset, she was furious. She stormed off the set. And those who were backstage said you could hear her using foul language. Reports say that while the audience was watching commercials, backstage was a whole different. Story security was on standby because things were extremely heated. Joy Behar and Whoopi tried to control Sunny, but she was not in the mood to be controlled. Meanwhile, Alyssa Griffin was still present on the main set, probably feeling like she has not done anything wrong by sharing her opinion.
Show a few weeks ago,
but we talk
let me
about
finish,
the rhetoric.
referring to Latinos, and no one had anything to say about it. The last thing I'll say is I continued by saying, do they want to be in Gilead? Do they want to lose their rights? They're
Sunny,
voting
we heard
against
your
their
point.
first
I'm
interest.
trying to make you consider
so
a perspective
you
haven't
are
before.
actually
No, I want you to consider a
twisting what I said.
No, that is what you said. What you said is it's like
Then
roaches,
don't
right?
say,
It was a simile.
don't
I
say
clarify
that I
But do you
called
understand
white women
why
roaches.
people...
All right, we're
because
going to
I
go to
didn't.
break. We're going
That's what you
that.
called white Republican women cockroaches.
Actually, I didn't. And
But you said they're acting like cockroaches.
I used in a similar.
That rhetoric-
Let me answer that.
Okay.
I used a
so
metaphor.
Here's what I'm going to ask you all
But I
to do.
need
Here's
to
what I'm going to
respond.
ask you to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to tone it down a bit because I can't hear anything.
Let
No
me
one
respond,
can hear what's being
but she
said.
just said I called white women roaches.
Go ahead
which
and
my
respond.
mother's a white woman, so
Go
I
ahead and
wouldn't say
respond.
that.
Go ahead and respond.
Second of all, what I used was a metaphor, really more in a simile.
A simile.
And I said, white women Republicans, I just read a poll that the suburbans are now voting Republican. That is like roaches voting for Raid. Now, by the way, that
know
wasn't
exactly
my
what you
joke. Let
said.
me finish. That wasn't my joke. That was John Leguizamo's joke. It's a joke that I've used on this.
By the time the show returned from commercials, it was clear that something had happened. Everyone's energy had completely changed. Whoopi attempted to keep things going, but the tension remained high, and Sunny hardly spoke for the remainder of the segment before Sunny finally made her decision. According to reports, Sunny has enough people close to her to say that she is seriously considering leaving The View, and when you think about it, you can't really blame her. She has endured years of interruptions, heated arguments that turned personal, and never-ending struggles to have her voice heard globally. And insiders speculate that this most recent altercation may have been her breaking point. Sunny has been dissatisfied with her role on the show and is considering leaving due to a recent on-air incident. Her strong voice is important to the show, and losing her would be a significant change. Messier word on the street is that Whoopi Goldberg might actually be relieved by all this drama, while she's constantly been the show's moderator trying to keep the discussion under control. It looks like even she has reached her limit. Insiders say Whoopi has been over all the constant disagreements, specifically when things get too heated, and let's be real, she has had to step in way too many times. To ease on-air fights, whether it's cutting commercials or giving her signature, "Can we move on my statement?" Whoopi's been dealing with this crap for a while now, and this recent blow-up might have just validated what she already knew. But what about the rest of the panel? And that's where things get interesting. Alyssa Griffin, who was directly involved in the argument with Sunny, is also not happy with how things went, but is she really hoping that Sunny will leave? That is the big question. Joy Behar, for instance, has been in this game long enough to understand that drama is just a part of The View's brand. She may not enjoy the chaos, but she also knows that these heated debates bring in ratings. What about the fans? Well, some are saying, good riddance arguing, Sunny is too sensitive and that she just can't stand the heat. A person reacted saying enough of these women talking and bullying, speaking freely whatever they feel like, even falsehoods about anyone without having consequences. Another one commented, Sunny went too personal, and it wasn't called for she should be held accountable nobody.
This case is not taking Donald Trump down, and I say that for a couple reasons.
How do you know that?
There was, well, just real quick, there was no conspiracy charge, which a lot of folks were looking to see
That
if
was
there
a
was.
harder charge to prove.
Every legal expert I've talked to has said most likely a fine and probation if he's even
I'll tell you
convicted.
why you're wrong as
But
this legal expert.
That is wrong. And I will
He's
tell
not
you,
going to jail over
I will
this.
tell you
He's not
why,
going to jail
I
over
will tell
this.
you why you're wrong. Prosecutors are not only in the business of prosecuting crimes, we're in the business of sending out a message. If you let the President of the United States be found guilty of 1 to 34 counts, even if they're misdemeanors, and he gets to go home scot-free, you're sending
It's
a
not
message.
scot-free. We're
to
just saying it's going to be a
you're
fine and
sending a
probation.
message
It won't be
to the
serving
country.
time. Correct.
Well, not yet.
It's
But
okay.
bad.
That's not going to happen.
Can I just
There's a lot more
point
to
out
do here.
that
Whether you like her or not, Sunny has been a major part of The View for years. She has brought strong opinions, fiery debates, and some unforgettable viral moments. But if she really walks away, that leaves one big question: who's replacing? Her will producers bring in someone even more outspoken to replace her, or could this all be a setup for another View moment where Sunny leaves in a dramatic exit, only to come back after some behind-the-scenes negotiations? Because let's be real, this show lives on controversial stuff, and a sudden comeback wouldn't be shocking. At all. Either way, one thing's for sure, Sunny is definitely thinking about leaving this show. But now I want to hear from you. Do you guys think Sunny is really done with all these issues? Or is this just another classic TV meltdown post? Your thoughts? In the comments, and subscribe this channel for more videos.